Commence primary ignition.
Hey there, friends, fans, and collectors. Welcome to another episode of Binary Sunset News. I'm very excited because I finally found the 3 missing pieces to the last Vintage Collection wave, and today we're going to take a dive into the Blue Skies Boba. Let's get going.
Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
Before I begin, I want to remind everyone to hit the subscribe button below.
Get
That
ready.
way you'll stay on the best and the greatest Star Wars news and reviews as soon as I make them.
Now, as we know, this is the first of the newest Vintage Collection wave of 2021, and it came with 5 figures, the others being Greef Karga and Bespin Escape Princess Leia. But whereas these were pretty easy to find on the shelves, these 3 flew off the shelves. Now, I was searching long and hard. It was very hard to find. 2 of them just arrived through pre-order. I didn't see them on shelves at all. But these will still be restocked, at least, hopefully, in some of the major stores like Target and Walmart. I love when they have Vintage Collection waves that are more than 4 figures. 5 is a great number, especially when it's packed like this with awesome new figures that are easily going to be instantaneously collectible. The Blue Skies Boba, which is what we're going over today, it's a repack from back in a long time ago, but it's very exciting, completely redone figure, redesigned cardback, and it's really, really going to be one of the best Boba Fetts we've seen in the Vintage Collection ever. Now, this wave is particularly nice. There's not really a missed figure here in this wave. It's all of them are brand new and all of them are excellent. I'm going to leave the DPCI codes and the SKU codes below. You can find those at your local stores, hopefully. And they're also up for pre-order across most digital retailers, including Hasbro Pulse. I believe the only one that's pretty difficult to find nowadays is the Blue Skies Boba, obviously. Now, the Child was pretty difficult to find, but that's up for restocks on a lot of retailers. I'll leave those below also.
Here we have a close-up of the cardback for the Return of the Jedi Blue Skies Boba. I do not have the original print of this figure, but we know from history that the image that was originally used was obviously a little bit more grainy. It was also actually much more zoomed out, so we actually got more sky in the background. We got his blaster out, kind of being chopped off. This new image, it's much more close-up, it's much more high-res. We really have some nice popping colors. Now, the color change has shifted in the pillbox in the background. In the old version of this, it was a little bit off shade of orange. We are now treated to a nice yellow pillbox and a yellow background. Now, this makes the blue of the sky pop totally out. The colors really, really do look great. And this redesigned cardback really does get 2 thumbs up and a small golf clap, because he looks great there, even if his on-screen, actions weren't as great in the actual Return of the Jedi. Man, he's immortalized perfectly in this cardback and figure. Now we got the Kenner logo at the bottom. We got Star Wars in the piping up there with Return of the Jedi in the center. That lets us know that's the movie it's from. We have legalese all on the outside, the silver piping, and let's flip it on over to see. Flipping on over, we see the packaging is pretty similar to other Vintage Collection figures. We have the Star Wars silver piping with the Vintage Collection logo there. In the center of that is the other figures in this line, as well as the last repack wave. Up at the top right, we have his Vintage Collection number. So this Boba is VC 186. It's nice that it's continuing on with new figures in the list, that even though this was an old, previously released figure, we are getting a new number because it's newly designed. We got logos everywhere, the Disney and Hasbro logo on the bottom. Far too much legalese, but let's free him from his bubble. Let's get him out of here. First impressions out of the box have to be how impressed I am at how well this figure is designed. The just base articulation, getting him out of the box. I'm going to go deeper into it in our articulation phase, but this is the best articulated and designed Boba Fett that we have seen in maybe the history of Vintage Collection. And from just the soft goods cape to the weathering and the painting and detailing, I am completely blown away, and this is an amazing, amazing figure. Everybody loves Boba Fett. He is a fan favorite and just a fanboy favorite all across the world. But this is maybe one of his more infamous designs. It's the last time we see him in the original Star Wars trilogy, and until he's been revived in The Mandalorian, it was thought to be the last time that he was seen in the galaxy. So it's great to have a newly redesigned Vintage Collection figure for that, and they really do the Fett Man some justice in this design. This figure's release coincides with the Black Series Boba Fett figure from the Return of the Jedi that is also found on shelves now. Some major paint changes and differences that we're seeing in Boba's armor from Empire Strikes Back, where he's debuted, to Return of the Jedi, have to be just mainly his gauntlets. So his armor is customized, we know that. And it being customized, it changes throughout his ages and generations. His gauntlets go into a deeper shade of red. Now, this red is the same similar shade. It's not quite the brick red we see on the Falcon, but it's a similar shade of red that is on his helmet. And it really does kind of draw together his colors, which is that red, that olive green, yellow, and of course the gray. We also see that his EE3 rifle has been aged quite tremendously. Now, time on Tatooine has not been good to this rifle. I'm sure that it still shoots just as straight, but it is looking battered, worn, and rusted compared to the other version that we see in Empire Strikes Back. We're also showing off just the vintage collection painting and detailing here. You really can see just the metal scuffs on his helmet, the famous dent that's there, and of course the beautifully rendered mythosaur that's on his left shoulder. Other changes in his armor have to do with the ammo packs on his waist, this knit belt that he has under the ammo pouches. This continues the tradition of being a really, really well-designed Mandalorian and fan favorite. Blue Sky's Boba comes with his famed EE3 blaster and his Z6 jetpack. Now these are both rusted up and painted to match the Return to Jedi kind of wear and tear that was seen on screen. We also have a really, really great shot again of the Cardback. Also, the blaster that was seen on his hip in Empire Strikes Back is no longer here. Talking articulation for our vintage collection, Blue Sky's Boba. Now, this figure has a jetpack, his Z6. I removed it to talk about the articulation. It really doesn't hinder his movement at all, so I didn't need to remove it, but I just did it for the ease of showing. Now, from the feet on up, we have ball and hinge ankles. Thank God, finally, for a Boba Fett vintage collection figure. We have a nice knee joint that folds around the armor very, very easily and very, very well. We have a thigh joint that spins out that gives us just a great range of the legs and how to pose them. Moving on up to the hips, we do have the Shakira hips. Now, he's got an armored torso, so we don't have a lot of motion, but we do have more than we had with the Empire Strikes Back, and certainly more than we've seen with other vintage collection Boba figures. Now on up to the arms. His Wookiee braids are a pretty malleable plastic. They can move around a little bit. They do have some motion, but he has fantastic, fantastic articulation. Now, just like the Deluxe Black Series figure, this is probably the best Boba Fett figure we've seen in years. And I'm so happy that it's 375 scale, and that it's Return of the Jedi, and that it's coinciding with his show that's going to come out at the end of this year. But I digress. This Fett model is truly, truly amazing. He's got tons of accessories hanging off of his customized armor, and all of them work and mold with his movements very, very well. With modern figures, we have pauldrons that are made of a softer plastic. This is true with Boba. This allows for motion and movement with the figure as you pose him, and it doesn't really constrict the motion of the arms in ways we used to. This also allows for the hidden second joint in there. Now, when you have pauldrons like this, it really hides the fact that you can have a joint that is a full range of motion in there, and you don't have to show the joint on the plastic. You can hide it with the pauldron. They really, really make good use of this with Boba. But his arms have full articulation. He can go full T. He can bring both blasters up if he's holding two, and really, really looks amazing with the cape, with the soft goods cape flowing behind. Now, he does have minimal wrist movements because of his gauntlets and the bulk of them, but he does have some really great elbow joints and the ability to move his hands around in several directions. Now, he really can bring his hand right up to his face right there. Fantastic articulation. This is what we've been waiting for a vintage collection Boba figure. Love it. Thanks so much for watching another episode of Binary Sunset Review. I've been Mike. Your likes and your views are always greatly appreciated. I'm so happy that we got to take a deep dive into the newly reprinted and newly redesigned Blue Sky's Boba Fett. I can confidently say that this is one of the best Boba models in the last number of years. Certainly the best vintage collection Boba Fett that we've seen in a long, long time. Appropriately giving him a figure for his on-screen antics in Return of the Jedi. This newly redesigned cardback and figure I would recommend to anyone out there
Now, the pre-orders have sold out on Hasbro Pulse. There are a couple of online retailers that are selling it, but other than that, already, even though this is a new figure, this figure is found to be 200% on markup. So if you see him out there, make sure to get him. I'll leave the codes below. But this is a double thumbs up figure, amazing one for the collection, both in or out of box. Enjoy your day out there, make sure you get some sun and spend some time on yourself because you deserve it. Stay safe, stay sane, and remember, the Force will be with you, always.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.